Hello, I'm Cory Gardner, representative for Colorado's 4th Congressional District. Growing up in a small town on Colorado's eastern plains, I learned that communities work best when people of different backgrounds who may sometimes disagree pull together and look out for each other. That's what my parents and grandparents were about, and that's what I strive to do for Coloradans. I believe Americans are at their best when they are giving each other a hand and looking out for those who need help, regardless of race, color, gender, or creed. I know many of you would agree with me that Congress and the President could learn a thing or two from places like my hometown and the extraordinary people across this nation who work together each and every day to build a better life for themselves, their families, and their neighbors. We face enormous challenges today, challenges that, if left unresolved, will undermine our ability to hand our children and grandchildren the nation that we know we are and the better life that we want them all to have. Our families, friends, and neighbors are working harder every day only to see opportunities slip further from their reach. Higher gas prices, food prices, college tuition, conditions made worse by the failed policies of the President and the Senate majority. President Obama continues to rely on policies of overreaching economic regulation based on European models of status quo instead of American ideals of growth and exceptionalism. And to be clear, it isn't that I think President Obama or the Democrats in the Senate are trying to hurt the economy, but their policies have certainly done damage. And those wrong policies are taking a terrible toll and hurting a lot of people who voted against the President and a lot of people who voted for him, especially those who are struggling to make ends meet. We care about the victims of these misguided policies because they are our families, our friends, our neighbors, those who agree with us politically and those who disagree with us. They are Americans. President Obama and his allies in Congress have forgotten that they were elected to represent all Americans. They have lost their way and lined up with special interest actions that have blocked jobs, hurt the poor, sold out the most vulnerable amongst us, and have left too many behind. For too long, this administration and Democrats in the Senate have obstructed policies that will get Americans back to work. They would have us believe that high unemployment and declining salaries are the new normal, that we should just get used to the disappointment of low expectations. That's not good enough for my community, and I know it's not good enough for yours. Just yesterday, the Keystone Pipeline delay turned 6 years old. Thanks to the President's inaction, we are no closer to building the pipeline today than we were 6 years ago. As a result, thousands of Americans are missing out on the good-paying jobs the pipeline would create. Americans know that purely political failures like this are one of the main reasons Washington is broken. Republicans agree, and that's why we've repeatedly called for President Obama and the Senate to take action, pass our jobs bills, and get America working again. And who is hurt most by the obstruction? It's not the big corporations. It's not the rich. It's people looking for work, people in need of a good-paying job. It's disappointing that the President and his allies have chosen divisive politics rather than facts and common sense. We have a duty to put politics aside and Americans first. Congress, the House and Senate, and the President have a patriotic duty to fight for all Americans. In my home state of Colorado, the responsible development of all types of energy resources has helped fuel a national energy revolution. And it isn't just traditional energy either. New wind farms on the eastern plains and hydropower on the western slope provides a model of success for the nation. If the President would stop blocking responsible energy development on public lands, this nation could benefit even more. Putting an end to the regulatory overreach would help areas of Colorado and our country that continue to struggle. This new energy economy means more jobs, more money for parents to send their kids to college, and more Coloradans feeling certain that the next generation will be left with greater opportunities than their own. A better starting point that we can pass on to our children than the one we inherited from our parents. President Obama could learn a thing or two from Colorado when it comes to energy development. In fact, constituents regularly tell me we need more Colorado in Washington and less Washington in Colorado, and I agree. Colorado supports building the Keystone Pipeline because we know its benefits don't end with its ability to create new jobs. The pipeline would be a major step forward in making us North American energy secure. At a time when the Middle East is becoming increasingly unstable, a prudent president would embrace a true all-of-the-above energy strategy. We've tried this approach in the House of Representatives, passing my legislation to expedite the approval of liquefied natural gas exports. This bipartisan bill would lift 45,000 people off of the unemployment rolls. Many of our allies are tethered by aggressive regional powers like Russia, which dominates the Eastern European energy market. Energy development here at home and boosting our allies abroad would make America safer, all while creating thousands of sorely needed jobs at home. Energy independence improves the stability of our families, the safety of our families, and provides economic security from the threat of terrorism by organizations that pose imminent threats to our nation, like ISIL and others. The President and congressional Democrats don't understand that this isn't about oil companies or billionaire donors. This is about the American people who are hurt by their decision to block jobs at the behest of their special interests. This is about putting Americans back to work and making our nation more secure. This is about taking away that fear about your children's future, knowing that they won't have less opportunity to build a fulfilling life, but more. This is about sending a message to the world that the United States still believes in what made this country great, an unyielding belief that a brighter horizon is always within reach. And this is about taking care of our neighbors, no matter which side of town they live in and which political party they belong to. We don't have to live in an economy whose rationale seems to be one of managed decline instead of inspiration and innovation. We have the power to change the course of our nation by getting government out of the way and letting America work. We are the United States. We are liberty and opportunity, optimism and resilience. We are together, an America on the rise. I'm Congressman Cory Gardner from Colorado. Let's get to work.